This is the area where we saw on the roof where you need to patch the drip edge or the metal roof edge itself. Looking at a mineral surface roof that's been nailed, seams applied. We can see the nails right here, and they've used cold application tar to apply the areas themselves. Now here we see the drip edge. This has been installed incorrectly. It should be underneath the roof itself, the roof material. And as we'll see here in a few minutes, we'll see what kind of deterioration occurs because of the incorrect application of this metal edging. Edging here, again, if it's misapplied, the water runs underneath the edge. The roofing material is allowed to rot. And in this case here, the boards are buckling. The roofing material has just blown away, causing dry rot in this area. In this case, when the roof was applied, they applied the mineral surface roofing, and underneath it they applied tar paper. In some of our other shows, we'll talk about the actual application and how you would repair your roof. So you want to be ready for that when we show that section. In this case here, also the tree branches have rubbed on the roof and caused deterioration. This is one of the biggest things we'll find, and all you have to really do is cut back the branches to stop this from occurring. This type of material that we're looking at is typically what the shingles on your house are made out of if you do have a shingle roof. Today, many people will overcoat their roof with elastomeric coatings or the silver reflective coatings to seal the roof itself. This roof could have been saved if they had gone ahead and done patching to it originally. This is the underside shot. This is much more deterioration we would typically see on any roof. It's just a case of neglect where the roof had been leaking. Again, it started primarily as the water stains that we do see, and then reflected to the point of dry rot and failure of the wood members themselves. At this point, we're viewing a roof that's been hot mopped in and painted. We can see here the condition of it's in excellent shape. The seams have all been sealed in. The parapet walls themselves, again, are all in good shape. This is a built-up gravel roof. This is a little bit different than the other roof which we just saw, which was a built-up painted roof. In this case here, failure of the roof is occurring at these areas, and as you can see here, we can stick our hand right underneath the roofing material. Now this is occurring because the roof itself is approximately 10 to 15 years old at this time. It's brittle and old, and you can see here the material is checked and cracked, and indicating how old it really is. So when it's brittle like this and breaks off like a saltine cracker, you know your roof's pretty well had it. Now, the gravel on the roof was here because we call this a built-up gravel roof, or an FHA roof, which is a very standard roof 10 to 15 years ago. These roofs only have a 7 to 10 year life. Again, we can see splits running through the roof itself and in many locations, and these splits were very visible as we entered the roof itself by walking up on it. As we went ahead and took the gravel off the roof, just by rubbing our foot across it, it exposed more cracks in the roof surface. Again, this indicates a roof, its functional life is over and needs replacement at this time. Used to hold the material together, and it's used as a mat. And this white line that we would see is the overlap that's commonly used. Now, most roofers on the 36-inch material will overlap the material 18 inches, as indicated by this line in the middle of the material itself. The middle stripping that we saw up along the edge of the roof, this is the Z-bar that we were talking about in the shape of a Z. One layer goes up under the stucco, the other layer goes over the roofing material to prevent any leakage from occurring. This time we're going to take a look at a shingle roof. At this point we can see that this hip roof has a ridge up at the top, and this roof has been installed over another roof area. It's hard to see that at this point, but this shingle roof here is approximately 2 to 3 years old at this time. Now, one of the maintenance things you need to take care of on a roof is you need to clean this valley out periodically to make sure that no debris sits in it. Otherwise you will tend to get water leakage down on the interior of the roof area. One of the other areas that you have to take care of is the fireplace flashing area, and in this area here you have to patch it periodically to prevent water from building up. In this area here, typically a cricket would be installed. That's a angled area to divert the water around the chimney. This wasn't done, but again, the house was built in 1940 and they really haven't had any leakage. Again, this roof has great slope, good drainage, and we really don't see much problems at this time. Flashing areas, a flashing would be this pipe coming up. We can see the tar around it, it's in good shape. Also the flashing around this vent pipe. We talk about vent pipes, these are the sewer pipes that come up from the bathroom and allow our sewer gas to escape out of the house itself. We're going to go ahead and take you over to a shake shingle roof, and you typically don't see those much anymore, but back when these houses were built in the 1940s, the wood shingle roof was the typical roof of usage. This is the wood shake or sawn shake roof. As we can see here, the shingles themselves are showing splitting, and they've actually gone to the point where they're almost like little fingers and falling apart. You can hear a dog. The roof itself is approximately 40 years old and needs a replacement at this time. This time we're at a house that has a little bit different roof, and you generally just don't see this. It looks like a concrete tile. If we take a look here, that's actually what it is. They're poured concrete tiles, interlocking, laid up across the room, or the roof I should say. Now this roof, I've talked to the homeowner, was installed 18 years ago and shows no signs of any leaking whatsoever. It's in excellent shape. The only requirement is that a little bit of patching be done around the flashing where the chimney is there. But other than that, you can see the roof is in great condition. Things we generally don't see on a lot of the newer houses is the roof vents. And in this case, this house does have the vents here on the side, allows the air to circulate. It also allows the roof to last longer when we see these installed in the attic space of the house itself. Again, this roof is a concrete tile roof installed 18 years ago and is in excellent condition.
Well, good morning. I'm Steve with Grant Road Lumber Company. Today we'll be discussing various roofing products that you, the homeowner, can use to repair your roofs. And we have some of the materials commonly used to work in roof repair and below grade applications. As you can see here, we have 3 Henry's roofing products here. Probably the more commonly used products: asphalt emulsion, a wet patch, plastic cement, and a regular plastic cement.
Well, Steve, some of these products that you have here, the plastic, what do you normally sell more of as far as the homeowner wanting to go out and repair their roof?
Probably the most popular one, the one that's used the most, would be your standard plastic cement.
Okay, so when you say plastic cement, this is the black tarry substance?
It's a black tarry, fairly thick in composition, yes.
Okay, and so when they would want to apply this material, they would use this trowel you have here on the countertop?
Basically, the application includes, yes, using some type of a pointing trowel and or using some membrane, some webbing. That would be the standard.
Okay, if you could pick that up and show us
yes.
what you're talking about, the membrane.
Right.
So now this membrane appears to be black, and it's a web type membrane?
This is a web nylon type membrane. It happens to be coated with a similar asphalt product as your plastic cement is, just to give it a little better adhesion and so forth. This is one type. The other type is a yellow membrane, the same composition, nylon, except it doesn't have the coating on it. This you can see a little bit better, and you can see where you're laying the membrane and so forth. This just gives the membrane a little extra body, but in neither case you would coat your surface and then lay some membrane down and then coat it again.
Okay, so the viewing public, we're going to be doing a repair later in the show, so they'll actually be able to see these materials being used. Now right here on the counter you have a utility knife, and
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, and that would be used to cut the membrane to make it easier for them?
Basically, you'd want to just score the membrane with your utility knife. It tears very easily, and you can get a nice clean cut with your utility knife.
Okay, and then we've got a pair of cotton gloves here.
Yes.
Most people who haven't dealt with plastic roof cement probably don't realize it's pretty sticky and seems to get on everything.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Cotton gloves or some type of protection on your hands is a must. It gets fairly gooey, and you'd want to try and keep the plastic cement off your hands and so forth. Good way to protect your hands is to use cotton gloves.
And then for cleanup, we have a paint thinner.
Clean up paint thinner, mineral spirits, turpentine, any solvent-based cleaner will clean up your knife and in various spots that you may incur in your patching.
So the homeowner who comes down, again, we're not promoting your store particularly, but you have these materials here available for their usage.
We have lots of these materials. We do sell quite a bit of them.
So are there people knowledgeable who could come in and actually tell the homeowner how to apply these materials?
Yes, we're have a good understanding of the application of these products and feel like we can give the homeowner some good information on how to use the products.
Okay, so if they wanted to, at the end of the show, we're going to be running some numbers. They can go ahead and give you a call, and your people down here can talk to them about how they might be able to apply these materials if they purchase them.
Yes, they could. Give us a call, and we can give them the prices and the proper information. Yes.
Okay, well, we want to thank you very much, and we'll be coming back in future shows to talk to Steve and some of the items that they might have and show us how you as the homeowner can use them to patch your roof.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Here we're looking at a can that says lap cement. This is for the roofing material where you would actually roll the roof material out yourself, nail down the seams, and patch it. In the video earlier that we saw, this is the material that's used for this location. These are the cans of white roof paint or coating, and the term that we typically find is elastomeric coating, and as you can see here it says it in big bold letters. This is the white roof coating that you typically see painted onto the roof surface. It reflects the heat of the sun. In the past you tend to see a lot of the silver roof coatings. These type of coatings are predominantly used now because of their water cleanup and ease of application technique. As you can see there, the little guy there is rolling the material out. These elastomeric coatings are applied. You generally can roll out this polyester membrane. We saw that earlier with Steve on the inside that you would use for patching seams. This material here can be rolled out on the entire roof and the elastomeric coating installed over it to repair your roof that may show signs of old age. This time we just wanted to give you a shot of what most houses are going to have today. We saw the can of paint that said elastomeric paints. Most of the houses at this point are painted with the white paint, and the paint is used to seal the roof and also reflect the heat of the sun. And now, as we can see here, the seams of the roof itself are approximately 18 inches wide, and then the roof is coated with the white reflective paint itself to seal the surface. And we can see here the texture of the roof. Now, in the past, this type of roof may have been covered with gravel. We would have called those FHA roofs or built-up gravel roofs. The term built up is usually associated with the fact that this layer of roofing we're seeing actually has two more layers underneath it, and we would call it built up painted, meaning the paint is installed on the surface itself. At this point, we're going to go back and we have some other areas we're going to look at. The roof on this house is going to have a combination of two different roof types, but every roof has a tar paper underlayment on it. We can see the metal flashing here, so when the tile's laid on, it runs up against the house parapet wall, which is this wall going up, and the tar paper surface has been laid down and tarred into place. This is called the dry-in phase. Up on top of the roof itself, the tile would be laid on this, and up at the top here where we have this board going across, this is your ridge. We'll show you a section of tile on another house to show you what it'll look like. Okay, this is a tile roof on a house next door. This is what the roof would look like on this house when it would be installed.